We'll start with DeShawn Elliott, who after the game just kind of jumped on to comments that were already stated by Alex Highsmith, saying that this is a time where guys need to want it. And there's not really a lot of want it right now in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. DeShawn Elliott continued that by saying, first off, guys can't be fucking wide open. That's the first thing. Do your job. I feel like we communicated guys weren't doing their freaking job. Get back to the drawing board. It's week 18. We shouldn't be having these problems in week 18. This is a week 2 problem. He continued when asked if there's players in here that maybe don't want it, said, quote, "It looks like it, especially once we go down 22-10. At that point in time, we still had a chance to win that game. I think we always have a chance to win the game, but it's like getting hit in the dirt. Stand up. We've got the guys to stand up. We've got the chemistry and the character in our room to stand up. We just got to do it." He did come back later in that interview, because I was there, and said that, I don't really know if guys don't want it or if guys just aren't doing it. And that is the most alarming thing to him, is that it just feels like guys are not doing what it takes and doing their job enough to actually win games and essentially hurting this team. You hear something like that. You hear guys talk about want it. You hear guys talk about not doing their job, about that is what the issue is people are somewhat playing hero ball. I mean, where do you look, and is it solvable for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, I feel like wanting it is prerequisite number one to being a contending team. And if you're going into week 18, a team that has fallen out of the conversation of, well, the first seed is still on the line, but even the second seed is realistic here, to, well, it looks like they're probably set at the 5th seed, and they've lost 3 weeks in a row in embarrassing fashion. Now you have players in the locker room calling out other players saying, well, they might just not want it. They might want it, but they're not doing anything about it. That is something to me that's alarm bells are ringing, and you cannot come back from that easily. The good thing is they got 10 days to figure this out. They're going to have a lot of very difficult conversations over the next 10 days to kind of turn this ship around, but that is very alarming. And especially whenever you look at that game yesterday, and you have to agree, nothing DeShawn said was wrong there. When it got to 22-10, it felt like the air was left out of the balloon entirely, because at 16-10, you thought, all right, well, it's not been pretty, but they're keeping it close. Like, they went down 13-0. This could have gotten a lot uglier, a lot quicker, but they stayed in it. And again, it wasn't pretty, but they're still in it. And then the second they went down 22-10, it was, well, it's over. They looked like they were a team that, as the last couple of weeks had shown, have waved the white flag with about 10 minutes left in an NFL football game. And you just can't do that and expect to stick with any teams, and can't expect that whenever you are close in a game that you're going to be able to hit that extra gear, because you've been used to gearing it down so often. So, it is alarming from DeShawn Elliott. It's nice and refreshing to hear somebody just kind of say it point blank and kind of just address the issue that everybody's watching. But it is something that, with 1 week to go to the playoffs, you certainly don't want to be hearing from one of your better players.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way to my partners at DraftKings. The holidays are finally here, and my partners at DraftKings have the perfect gift for you. Right now, all new DraftKings customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code ALLSteelers. The crown is yours. That's right. New customers get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins after betting just $5. And don't forget to stay in the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. I do it all the time. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings daily fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook. No, you definitely don't. And I think it's a culture thing at this point. Is the Pittsburgh Steelers I have a hard time believing it's one guy I have a hard time believing it's 2 guys. I feel as if this is the Pittsburgh Steelers are bred to not really be contenders, that they were bred to believe that they were 10-3 3 weeks ago, and they were on their high horse and things were great. And the Pittsburgh Steelers were a great football team that was shocking the world. And they did this already. It kind of felt as if they've already peaked. You know, we talked Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the Cleveland Browns Super Bowl. It almost feels as if the Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl was 10-3. That's what it was. They got to a place where they proved everybody wrong. They were way better than everybody predicted. All those people saying this is Mike Tomlin's first losing season, they could eat it because they did it. They came out here and they dominated early. That's what it feels like. It feels like the Steelers peaked. We're very satisfied with that peak, very okay with it. And now they are just falling right off, and they don't know how to grab onto a ledge because they just don't have the fight to grab onto the ledge. I think this is a Mike Tomlin thing, obviously. You know, you can't stumble and fall the way that the Pittsburgh Steelers are stumbling and falling. You can't give up with 10 minutes left in a ball game multiple times in a row and not blame your head coach. That has to be your head coach. At the same time, I think it's the quarterback magic has run out. I think it's the players that you have brought in here that just do not compete in these tough and nasty environments. I don't know who it is or which ones they are, but it does feel as if it's a group of players that just simply don't have that second burst, don't have that fight when you're down. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have always been about it. But again, it feels like Mike Tomlin has not instilled that in his team this year. Maybe that's the quarterback situation. Maybe that's Mike Tomlin was so comfortable that Russell Wilson was leading this show, and he was so comfortable in Cam Hayward being a veteran and having TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith and all these guys and going to get Patrick Queen and DeShawn Elliott and Dante Jackson that he just looked at it and said, this is a veteran football team. I don't need to create that hard-nosed winning when we're backed against the wall, we're going to start swinging mentality, and maybe got lazy with it. I don't know. But this is the first time in a long time that the culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers just feels way off from what it is. And the Steelers have not been a great football team over the years. They just simply won close games. They knew how to do that. In crunch time, nobody was better than the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. You can't say that this season because the Steelers don't even give themselves an opportunity. They give up well before that game is supposed to be close. And I don't know who to blame, but there are certainly a number of people that you probably could blame in that light.